Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and this is the first time I've been able to do a video since I had my back surgery. If you saw the one where I was in a back brace and looked really rough, we're going to delete that video, and Travis did a couple of videos for me to make up while I was gone over the last few months healing up from getting 5 titanium rods in my back and 3 fusions. But I'm okay now, everything's good, I can move. We're getting ready to do an infill video with Peanut out here on our new rotary cutter. This is the first time anybody's really seen the factory on a video from Everything Attachments. We're going to take you in the factory. Nothing's been done special today. We're hitting them up on the blind. Nate's the cameraman. He's going to freehand the camera instead of put it on a tripod, maybe a little shaken. But as you can see, we've got our employees drive nice vehicles. We pay a good wage here. We try to steal the best from the different manufacturing companies around here, which are very few in this place. This county has sent a lot of the manufacturing somewhere else. We're the only laser I know of in this county, Catawba County. In fact, we just put in our second laser. We'll go inside and we'll see all that. This is a 100 by 200 metal building, basically. Gives us 20,000 square feet to produce. We do all the cutting, fabricating, and painting here, and then we take our goods to the downtown Newton, which was my father's business since 1946. We have another warehouse there, so we're working out of 3 buildings, but we do as much of it. We get it to the painted stage here, then we do about 4 truckloads a day that go over to the downtown Newton where they get fully assembled and shipped from. But we'll take you in, we'll show you how it's made, and then we'll do a video over at the Newton sometime, show you how it's assembled, and finally leaves to come to you. All right, did Everything Attachments, and the building's nothing special. It was built in '73. It does have 32 skylights in it, which we love, we just replaced. It's going to be a little noisy in here at times. I've not told anybody we were coming in or out, so whatever you see is just what happens during the day. This is where we keep our structural material, most of it. This is any kind of pipe, any kind of tubing that we use on these 2 walls. We try to keep everything in stock. We keep everything from seamless pipe to DMO tubing, DOM tubing, which is drawn over mechanical, which is used for a lot of the hinges and stuff on our grapples. We've got a nice automatic straight cut saw. So it starts here cutting the structurals and anything that needs to be cut. We keep plate steel at different places in the factory. We've got plate steel here. We've got another section in the back where we keep more of the plate steel that's used more commonly. Come on back to the back. We hang everything up on racks after it comes out of the wash. We've got more plate over here. We go through about 1 million pounds of steel a month. Over here you can kind of see how we do a prototype. This is a Woods Gill box blade. It was one of my favorites. It was an SR box blade. And I'll give you the whole story on this box blade real quick, because this is typically what happens to a lot of the stuff that Woods had that they no longer make, or just in general, kinda. I hate to say it that way. This is a really great box blade. The only problem is it used to be made in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was a teenager. I went there and picked it up. It was a small building, low overhead. It was a great operation. The price was low per what you got your money's worth. Then as it becomes Woods and a bigger company, you just gain so much overhead. That's where Everything Attachments just simply exceeds on the dollar per what you get. Because what we're producing is actually going to be a little better than this, but will be at a much reduced price. Now, why is it? This was actually never used. When Lineback Machinery went out of business, this was one of the pieces that was left there, probably 5 or 7 years looking at the rust on it. And the deal is, when you buy it from Woods, they have 5 different levels you buy on, and it just costs the dealer more than you should even be paying for it, in my opinion. So this sat in the woods, not the woods, but in the weeds for several years. And then it was sold at an auction when they went out of business. So we bought it, we're taking it, we're pretty much reduplicating and increasing some of the things that I know needed to have been done on this, because I've used these for 20 years. So this is how we come up with some of the products that we come up with. Stuff we know that was good, but can be made better. We got a good bolt selection. That's the machining area over there where we have our lathe and stuff where we can do our stuff. Bridgeport to mill some stuff. Over here is our, this is an all stainless steel enclosure. It's a phosphate wash booth where we get all the grease and all the grime. The phosphate etches the metal so the paint sticks to it well. We try to give you a good paint job on all your stuff and use a paint that for several years will stay much better than some of the water-based paints that some of the companies are using, especially like what Lineback was using when they were dipping it. In 3 months, it started to turn to chalk and turn different colors. Ours should be good for years. The small parts that we have, we put in the CUDA, wash them before they're painted. There's Tyler in there painting grapples. So we put everything goes into a global ultra finishing paint booth, just like a car would be painted in. It's a downdraft booth where we can put stuff from front to back, and it doesn't pull the overspray from the front to the back to make our stuff look bad. We usually use 2 painters at one time to keep up. We just started converting our racks to different bins with part numbers and so forth. So Peanut, Peanut from the field, he can keep up with everything, make sure everybody's got the right components. You can see that these are fully finished. Come on in here. You can see they're fully finished components that have already gone through the laser to have all the different holes and so forth, and where we notch and tab all our attachments to make them super accurate. This is a Pendrick Bender. This is a 7,000 pound bender. It uses a gearbox instead of hydraulics. It's meant to bend all day. It's what we use to bend all of our post hole diggers here, and we do thousands of those a year. We've got jigs to put our post hole diggers together. This just starts with more parts, from everything from bell unrollers to box blades to whatever's here. We try to keep up with an inventory. Peanut tells us when we're low. If the inventory, if we've got a lot of orders that come in that haven't come off inventory yet, Peanut keeps us aware so we can start building parts before they get pulled out of the bins so we don't run out. You can see we've got lots of small parts that just go on all kinds of things. More structurals. These are because these don't have any laser holes in them. Those are probably for the severe extreme duty box blades. As you can see, that's 3/8 thick. After the guy using the straight cut saw cuts it, every one of these, he goes around them with a grinder, cleans up every edge for a good weld. Mold boards are stocked here. You can tell where they're indexed in the back. These are for different sizes of box blades or straight blades. These are different components. And we even, just to keep the guys happy here, because we got really good guys, we've got 3 of these biggest porta-cools. It's not air conditioning, but it sure does make it feel a lot better in here for our employees. We try to keep enough spare parts and grapple parts on hand to keep our shipping time down as much as we can on all of our components. Having the second laser is really helping us a lot. Most of the time we steal people with the talents that we want. Every now and then we will train somebody. Sean here, he's one that we've trained. He's become one of our best welders, and he's now the one that tacks everything together, and then once it's tacked together, it goes to the welder. So all of this, as you can see, Sean's already tacked everything together. Nothing has been welded, everything has just been tacked, and then it'll go to one of 5 welders, which is We'll put a nice weld bead on there, make everything solid, and then it'll go to paint. Carlos has been with us for a long time. It looks like he's working on a heavy-duty box blade frame. We've got a new guy, and I've been out, unfortunately, with my surgery. I like to know everybody's name and who's here. I'm just now back at work full-time, and there's a couple of people that I don't even know here that Josh, the plant manager, is keeping up with that part of it. But it looks like a grapple just got finished off his weld table. Got another grapple. We're proud. We should have a cleaner one up, but we're proud to have an American flag in the corner just because that's what we try to do here. This is Dave. He does a little bit of everything. He puts all the plows together, and he can even paint when we need him to and do whatever he wants. Just more wet. So we've got a total of 5 welders. Every now and then when we need to, this is what I started with 20 years ago, was an iron worker. Dad always told me we didn't need it, and I always told him that'd be the last thing that I would sell because I used to build all my custom stuff on it. That's the back side of our Cincinnati brake press, and we'll go around to the other side. So right now, the Cincinnati laser at this moment is not cutting anything. He's unloading a bed of parts off of there. And hold up one of those parts for me if you would. As you can see, when it comes off, all the holes have already dropped out. You've got beautiful clean cuts. Move your hand right there. And you can see the tab where that's going to go in the part to hold it in place, and that's how we build our stuff. This is Josh, our plant manager. This is who's been doing the hiring and firing for me lately, especially while I was gone without my surgery. He's really come around, and I've had to rely on him, and he's come through, so that's going to work. We're going to be together for a long time. This is our new Mitsubishi laser. This is a little more wattage. I can cut up to 1 inch with either laser. This one just cuts it easier and faster. We usually use 157-inch material that's 6 feet. Sometimes when we're doing the grapples, which use like a grade 80 or a grade 50 material, some of it's even grade 100, we can only get it in 5-foot sheets instead of 6, but we really like to use 6. We've got a Cincinnati press brake. It's 350 tons. It also has the auto crown feature, so for every pound it pushes down on the edges, it pushes up in the center. And what that does is when you make a long bend, if you look at a cheap-made piece of equipment or a piece before it was put in, it's going to have a bow to it. Because even though it's a great piece of equipment, when you apply that much pressure on the sides, either your die's worn or it still will bow the whole machine. With the auto crown, it applies the same amount of pressure back up as it does down and makes your brakes totally square and straight. Even if it's an 8 or a 10-foot piece, it still looks just like it came out of the factory, totally square. So this is the cooling system for the Resonator. This is the Resonator that actually generates the light beam, and you can see the light inside there actually working. Come on around this way, Nate. Here's where Josh controls the laser. You can see, come on in here. Right now it's actually cleaning its tip in between a run, and it's going to go back out and start cutting again. So it'll come back periodically as it needs to and cleans its own tip. Of course, the lenses and everything are cleaned every day with acetone. We've got beautiful cuts going on. We like our new Mitsubishi. We've always liked our Cincinnati. We've got them for different reasons. When we do tubes, we always do them on the Cincinnati. When we're doing plate, this will only do plate. The Cincinnati will do both. No real preference. We like them both. This is that new die I spoke about in a video a long time ago. It takes these 3 pieces to make one bend, which is a total curl of 1/4 inch for our new box blade. I can do 4 feet at a time because it takes so much tonnage to do. This is what's called a skeleton. This is what's left after the laser cuts it. And I like to see it to look like spaghetti with as little metal left in it as possible. These big pieces here are pieces that during the night welded themselves together because no one was here to check it. And every now and then you just lose a couple of parts, but we're able to cut 4 sheets of steel during the night while it's called lights out after everyone is gone. This is old, but it's good. It's a web roller. I can roll large sheets of steel on this. A new roller like that's over $100,000. This is what we do our plow mow boards on, and just a lot of different things, the bands on, rotary cutters, whatever we need to roll or make a curve, that's what we roll it on. Like this is the component that is on our severe duty box blade that hooks to the tube instead of piercing the tube, keeps the tube strong, makes a good place for the ripper shank. We'll go in through the office here. Got a break room over to the side, and this is where the engineering's done. Come on in. Come on in. This is Jarrett. This is our new engineer. He's been working with us for about a month. He's trying to recover from a tendon surgery he just had last week. And this is Mark from Sigma Nest, teaching him the final. Jarrett's done a lot of this. He's really good at SolidWorks. Sigma Nest is a different way of nesting for him. So Mark's here for a personal session to come down here for 3 or 4 days and teach Jarrett how to do the finals on it. This was my desk, but Nate's robbed it lately. And we've got a new GoPro to go on our tractor as we do our video here in a little bit. We do have another room here, but there's our big heater that we keep our guys warm. And then we've got some other front end adapter plates that we're getting ready to measure, copy, and have them for different attachments. There's a Woods blade that is being prototyped kind of. We're going to be here for a long time. We've been working out of this factory about 3.5 years. And if you need any customer service, we're always here for you to help you size the right things for your tractor and make sure that you're buying the right attachment.